Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Off the Dome podcast. This is Baller Nation. I'm here with a guest. Finally, you guys have been wanting me to get a guest on here. Mr. Call Me Crafty. Crafty, how's it going today?
No, it's going real good. How's it going with you, man?
I'm chilling. Today, we're going to be doing something a bit different because, I already had a podcast yesterday, which I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Today, it's All-Star weekend coming up. So we're going to be drafting our All-Star teams. One of us is going to be Kevin Durant. One of us will be LeBron James, and we'll be going from there. You're the guest. Who you want, LeBron or Kevin Durant?
You know, I'm not really a big fan of either of these guys because, LeBron leaving Cleveland from Ohio kind of hurt. Kevin Durant forming a giant super team that ruled the NBA for years. Not a fan of that either. But I'll take LeBron.
LeBron James. That's probably the correct choice. I'm gonna take Kevin Durant. You got to pick who your all-star is. I'm gonna pick who I want to go first.
Right.
I think the way, and just so everyone's clear on this, the way we're gonna do this is we're not gonna be picking Domantas Sabonis in here let's pick Domantas Sabonis because he will be picked in the. But we're not gonna be picking Anthony Davis because he's not gonna be playing.
Gotcha.
So we'll just pick Devin Booker instead of Anthony Davis because. And Jason Tatum's going to be the new starter in the East. So, because we have to go through and pick all the starters first. And in the West, I think it's Dame's a starter in the West, right? Instead of Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis was a reserve.
Oh, he's reserve anyway. All right.
Which is sad.
I'm an idiot. Okay. Let's get going. I'll start first. And with my first pick as Team Kevin Durant, starting captain, I'm going to take... This is tough. I have to pick from the starters. I'm gonna take my boy Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's been having a great year so far,
okay.
And he's turning up the heat in the MVP race right now. Joel Embiid is not safe at this moment in time. Not safe at all.
All right. Okay. I like that pick. I do like. I wasn't gonna pick Giannis. I feel like it's fairly obvious with my background who I have to go with my first pick. It's not biased. It's just facts. My first pick, the All-Star starter, deserved All-Star starter. Over Damian Lillard, Luka Doncic. He had a really rough start to the year, and I feel like that has really hindered how good he is in people's eyes. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because now we're even deeper into the NBA season, and he's balling out. I just literally had his stats up, took him out. Luka's averaging 28.6 points per game, 8.4 rebounds per game, and 9 assists. He's flirting with a 30-point triple-double on the average.
It's ridiculous.
And, the Mavs suck. But this is the All-Star game. We're not worried about how they're impacting their team. I'm worried about how this dude's going to do in my All-Star game. I think he's going to outperform Giannis. I'm just throwing that out there. He's more flashy than Giannis.
One thing about Luka Doncic, first of all, when the voting came out, I thought Damian Lillard deserved to be the starter over Luka Doncic. But now I'm looking at it. Blazers have lost 4. They lost 4 in a row there for a second. And now it sort of looked like, all right, Luka definitely deserved it. And it might look like Luka Doncic is, the team's not doing that good. But they've got a winning record. And if you put Luka's team in the Eastern Conference, they go from being the 10 seed to being a top 4 seed, I think it is. And, that would definitely put him in the MVP conversation. Same as a guy like Steph Curry, where it's it's not his fault he plays in a conference that's 100 times better than the other one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And, I'm also, like I said there was no bias. I lied. There's a whole lot of bias. I love Luka. So I couldn't care less if there was a player who there probably is who's 100 times better. I'm not taking him.
You're just gonna go with your boy Luka Doncic.
I have to. LeBron went with Anthony Davis last year, and I am LeBron, so that means I get to be biased.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I can't really argue with that. Okay, I've got Kevin Durant. I've got my boy Giannis Antetokounmpo. My front court's looking pretty stacked. I could grab myself a point guard and get Nicole Yokic, but I don't really think that he performs very well in an all-star game scenario. So I'm going to take Stephen Curry.
Okay.
So far, I think my big 3 seems to be pretty unstoppable.
Okay. Unstoppable. I still haven't drafted my next player.
Yeah, I really couldn't care. This, my top 3 is, dude, this is hot. This is sexy.
Oh, well, I'm going to make my team. If your team is sexy, mine's going to be Megan Fox. All right. Well, Megan Fox in the Transformer movies.
It's going to be hard to beat right there.
Kind of went downhill a little bit, but
prime.
I feel like it's obvious. I got to go with the leading scorer in the NBA right now, playing alongside Russell Westbrook. I'm taking Bradley Beal with 32.9 points per game. Dude is amazing. He looks like a Kroger brand James Harden from last year, but can't help his team win. I don't understand what the point with him is, but I'm taking Bradley Beal. I mean, I can't beat 33 points per game, and he's going to be taking some deep threes. Plus, you got snubbed last year.
Yeah.
So how could I not?
Dude, I don't know
take
how we got snubbed last year. Like last year, I don't like they put. I don't know. I don't understand it.
The NBA doesn't like him, I guess.
I've been scratching my head trying to figure that out. Why he didn't get an All-Star nomination last year. All right, so we got Beal, Giannis, Curry, Doncic off the board early here. The remaining starters left: Joel Embiid, Kyrie Irving, Nicole Jokic, Kawhi Leonard, and Jason Tatum, which is interesting that Jason Tatum's a starter in the All-Star game. He's only 22, by the way, which in case anyone didn't know. Anyway, so I got my big two. I would pick James Harden in this situation, but he's not a starter. Instead, I got to go with – and when I tell you I have bias toward this player, I am the biggest Nicole Yokic meat rider in the world. I have all of my fantasy teams. This man is a inspiration to all white people in the world, all out of shape people, everyone who's got a shitty diet. This man – he's a god. I mean, he is Kanye West of basketball. He is a god. I'm telling y'all, I got to go with my boy Nicole Jokic, 100%.
Okay, I can respect that. I can really respect that. I'm a big Jokic fan too. He's currently averaging 8.6 assists as a center, which if the season ended right now, that would tie him with Wilt Chamberlain for most assists per game by center. Yeah. So, as a Wilt Chamberlain fan, how can I not be a Jokic fan? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You see, I was going to choose Jokic with my next pick, so now I'm stuck. I got LeBron. I could put him at any position I wanted. I got Luka. Sure. I could put him at the 1 through 3. I got Bradley Beal, the 1 or 2. It sounds like I need a big man, and what better big man than the leader in MVP voting right now? I'm taking Joel Embiid.
Jojo.
I mean, 30 points per game.
That's a good pick too. Like, honestly, I talked about this yesterday on my podcast. I said this little stretch of games we're seeing from Joel Embiid, we've never seen him this consistent for this long period of a time ever in his career. Like, I'm honestly surprised that he hasn't had some sort of mental breakdown or injury of any sort in the last few months, because this is I don't know what I'm watching. It's a new man.
It's crazy too, because I remember when he started playing his first actual season and everything, we were just trying to figure out, could this dude even play in the NBA? Because the 76ers had 3 centers on their roster that were early picks of the draft. They were running with Nerlens Noel, Jahlil Okafor, and Joel Embiid. And Jahlil Okafor and Nerlens Noel,
trash.
We see what they're doing now. So with Joel Embiid, it was just, can the 76ers get a good center? And now we're talking about a dude who's possibly an MVP. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I love this.
Yeah, that was sort of a weird episode in the Philadelphia 76ers career. That little 2014, 15 to 2017, I'd say. That little stretch there. I mean, it's they lost games on purpose to get higher draft picks, and half the draft picks just absolutely tanked. But Ben Simmons, you could argue tanked. I mean, no, Ben Simmons, he's an all-star. He's an all-star. I mean,
at the very least, he's with the standard for number 1 picks. Yeah. I think he's living up to it. I don't like him, but he's living up to it.
And Joel Embiid wasn't a number 1 pick, but Joel Embiid was literally a rookie of the year candidate and played 20 games. That's what dominant he was during that. I think it was I remember it was during the month of January. He just, I mean, for the first time in 4 years, the 76ers were winning games regularly, and it was because of Joel Embiid. And since then, man's been balling out. So yeah, quickly recap on the teams here: LeBron, Luka, Beal, and Embiid. That's for you, Crafty. Yep. And I've got KD, Giannis, Steph, and Nicole Yokic. I mean, I pretty much got the MVP runner-up right here. I've got the whole MVP race going on my side over here.
You see, I'm not worried about that because I got the underdogs here, and I have the number 1 in MVP voting, and I got LeBron. I mean, dude's 36 years old
LeBron.
and still an all-star captain. Do we stress this enough about LeBron? He's old.
What the fuck? How is he? He's built different. I don't that's it.
I saw a thing yesterday. It was the top leaders in defensive player of the year, and I believe LeBron was at 4. And LeBron at the beginning of the season said, "I'm not going to play at my full potential," because he didn't think they should start as early as they did. A 36-year-old man, usually on their decline by now, or 5 years ago on their decline, is 36. said he's not going to be playing his hardest, and he's still in MVP and Defensive Player of the Year contention. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And currently, I think Michael Jordan's the go right now, but I've got no problem saying that when LeBron's career is finished, he'll be the greatest of all time.
Well, your podcast will freak out if they haven't heard me say it before. I believe Wilt Chamberlain's the greatest of all time.
You think Wilt Chamberlain's the GOAT? You guys hear that? This man thinks Wilt Chamberlain's the greatest player of all time.
We can have that discussion if you want to have me back on the podcast. I will fully discuss that with you. I've been arguing it for years.
Dude, like let's get your ass. Let's find the biggest bronze sexual out there, and just put you guys cage match style, and we'll see y'all just debate this shit. Because I'd pay for that. That'd be hilarious, man.
I've done it multiple times. I'm ready.
The old Wilt Chamberlain's a GOAT argument. Okay, I've got my front court pretty much stacked. Nicole Yokic, Giannis, and Kevin Durant. That's about as good as you could ever possibly make a front court. I'm gonna take my point guard. I'm gonna take Kyrie Irving alongside of Stephen Curry. And before the year started, I don't think anyone would think that would be able to work out. Kyrie alongside of another superstar, but him and Harden in the backcourt. I don't know what it is, but they're figuring it out. They're getting dubs, and without Kevin Durant, and with what was supposed to be a terrible supporting cast, they're getting it done without KD.
Absolutely, and Kyrie's a shooting guard now, so he'll work fine with Stephen Curry. I don't think that'll be a problem. Because obviously, if you look at the Nets game, it's clear who's bringing the ball up the court, who's making all the plays. It's James Harden. Yeah. Kyrie, I would love to see him play point guard because I feel like that's his most natural position. But I feel like him as a shooting guard is working out just fine when you have someone who James Harden is leading the league in assists, and he's setting up plays like no other.
I could think Kyrie's playing better than he's ever played in his career. Like when you look back at the Cleveland years, I don't think he was quite as good as he is currently. But back in Cleveland, that's sort of when you think that was prime Kyrie. What we're watching today, even though he's playing shooting guard and Harden's kind of the ball dominant player on that team, he's still putting up 27 points a game, which is proving that he's going to become a very efficient player.
Absolutely. Now if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 players left.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because Kevin Durant's a captain, so he's technically on the team. But Tatum's also a starter. So I guess Kevin Durant's not going to play for me.
We'll just use it as a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Or whatever works.
Tatum can be the first bench player. Just put Tatum on the bench. Who cares? You want to do that? Just put Tatum on the bench. Yeah.
Well, then that leaves me with literally one option. I will take the board man. Board man's getting paid today.
Man.
The claw, whatever you want to call him. Fun man. I'm taking Kawhi Leonard.
Dude, we are clipping that. The laugh you have there, putting that shit on TikTok. That was bad, bro. I'm surprised Kawhi slid this far.
It's weird to me because of how quiet of a player he is. I have heard nothing about him at all this season.
Dude, he's balling.
So, he has been balling. I've watched a couple of Clippers games. I don't like watching Clippers games though because I don't like Paul George. But 27 points per game right now. I did not expect that because the games I watched, it didn't look like 27 points per game. He is a real quiet scorer, I will say. When you watch a Clippers game, you don't notice that Kawhi almost dropped 30.
Yeah. Which is kind of one side of that is all right, normally when someone scores a quiet 30, it's not a good thing. And I think you mentioned it, Kawhi Leonard's a very quiet sort of player, but it's interesting because I think Kawhi Leonard, he plays best when he's not the favorite. Last year, his team was favored to win and they crashed out. And in Toronto, they were kind of written off right away. And what the fuck did he do in the playoffs? He has one of the greatest playoff of all time. And this year, people have already sort of written off the Clippers. All right, this is going to be Lakers and Nets in the NBA Finals. Clippers are still that team. They're still going to give the Lakers a good 6 or 7 game series.
Oh, for sure. If they meet up in the final, if they meet up in the playoffs.
Yeah, if they don't crash out against the Mavericks. I could see that happening maybe just randomly.
I hope so.
Kristaps Porzingis doesn't get hurt this time.
Or traded, because now he's in trade rumors, which is fun because I just love hearing one of my favorite players in trade rumors.
Yeah, go back for Porzingis, man. That guy, he's such. I remember watching prime Kristaps Porzingis in New York, and just watching a 7'3" player just drain threes like that.
Hit him from the logo. It's like he's a taller Trae Young, except for only in the shooting situation, not at all in the playmaking.
Yeah, that's Nicole Yokic right there.
So if you have the first pick in the first round, does that mean I get first pick? And
I think so. Yes. So
all
let's
right, because I'm cool with going with that. I feel like it's quite an obvious choice. I think you could have easily made a statement that he could have been a starter, should have been a starter, whatever. The best point guard in the league. I'm taking James Harden.
Yeah, that's the right pick right there.
I don't feel like there was any other pick possible. I mean,
Yeah.
11 assists per game, 25 points per game. And the games that he doesn't have, Kyrie and Kevin Durant, it's like old James Harden.
Yeah, he's
Chucking up
reminding
shots,
us.
dropping 30 or 40.
Yeah, that's like I've been saying this. He's choosing to put up the stat line that he's putting up right now.
And I love it.
He could easily.
It's one of the reasons I didn't like him was because how often he scored and how he scored. Well, I still don't like how he scores. I hate flopping, and it's one of Luka's biggest problems to me. But it's working for him, and he's chose to be a different player to fit his system, which is like really respectable to me.
Yeah, he's just an absolute. I've always been the biggest. I'm a huge James Harden meat rider, and I'm not afraid to say that. Like, even though I'm a Spurs fan, Harden's always like he's near and dear to my heart. I think it's because he gets so much hate. So I'm like, all right, that means I have to like.
I'll show him some love.
And yeah, like same as guys like Patrick Beverley and Rudy Gobert. Like I just
you like Patrick Beverley,
dude. Yeah, are you kidding me?
Patrick. I just lost all respect for you as a person.
Dude, I don't give a fuck. That's because Pat, like, it's the way he plays the game. Like, he just sacrifices for his team, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a pretty player, not a glamorous player, but he just does like his job, I guess, sort of thing. And I've always I think it's because like when I played basketball, I was shit, and so I just like did whatever I could to win. And I feel like Patrick Beverley did the same thing. I think if I was to compare myself to one player, I'd be Patrick Beverley. I'm proud of that. Very proud of that. Right
well, I wouldn't be, but I'm glad you are.
I do not care.
If a player went into the draft and it said their draft comparison was Patrick Beverley, he wouldn't get drafted.
Yeah, maybe not. But that's because I'm not in the draft, though. I'm not I don't care. I'm the one making the draft right now. You pick James Harden. I'm going to get you with a better point guard, or not a better point guard, but a point guard who's been having a great year this year. Actually, no, it's tough because I don't want this man to be on your team because him and LeBron are going to have really good chemistry. The thing is, I know you're not going to pick Paul George, so I don't need to worry about that. And even if you do,
you don't know that. Just because I don't like somebody doesn't mean I don't want him on my All-Star team.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got a feeling you won't pick him. And even if you do, who cares?
He wasn't one of the people I wrote down. I'll tell you that much.
This is tough. This is tough right now. But I think I'm gonna go with Chris Paul just because he's an absolute beast point guard.
Damn, dude, that was my next pick.
He had that chemistry with LeBron. I'm not about to have that. That's not gonna happen. You're not gonna beat me on some chemistry.
Oh, banana boat. Who
cares, bro? Get Carmelo Anthony out here. We're chilling with Chris Paul.
Dude. And then they wouldn't have chemistry, but him and James Harden play together, so.
Yeah, the
chemistry wouldn't be there. Okay. So I already have a really solid point guard in James Harden.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like we just mentioned, when he's not the point guard, he goes back to 30, 40, 50 point James Harden. So why wouldn't I choose a point guard to make James Harden that shooting guard? I'm taking Damian Lillard. I mean, 29.6 points per game right now, 8.1 assists.
That's solid.
I need that on my bench.
That's solid right there. I thought you were going to pick Ben Simmons for a second there. I was like, all right.
Oh, no, I didn't even write down notes for him. You can have Ben Simmons.
You didn't even write down notes for him.
No, if you want Ben Simmons, you can have him.
Yeah, I don't want Ben Simmons, bro. Maybe just no one pick Ben Simmons. How about that?
Yeah, we'll put him on the auction block.
Fuck that. Free agent. Send him to the WNBA All-Star game.
Yeah, let's make that clear. I just realized what I said could be taken very wrong. I meant in basketball. Definitely meant in basketball.
You didn't have to say that, bro.
No. The thing is, like, I just wanted to make sure that didn't sound like because I thought about it for a second. I was like, that did not sound good. So I had to make sure I clarified that I meant like trade block.
Dude, no, that's funny. Trust me, it's funny. It's funny. I got black friends who would laugh at that. Don't worry about it. It's hilarious, bro.
I just wanted to make sure I just wanted to make sure that I didn't get canceled for what I just said.
Dude, one episode of my podcast, you already got me canceled, man. God damn. All right, we got so Ben Simmons isn't gonna get picked. I think right now Anthony Davis would be the clear choice, or not even. No, I'm not gonna say that. He's been having a shit year, but I've got CP3 coming on my bench. I really want to pick Rudy Gobert right now because I think he's just hella valuable to a team. And everyone else that I see here are sort of like individualistic players that might not play very well in a team environment. But it's Rudy Gobert, man. Like I can't pick guys like actually no, fuck you. I'm picking Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert. I talked myself into it. I'm taking Gobert, and it's one of those things again. I wouldn't take him if I didn't like him. So
Well, good.
he's my guy. Like I'm a Jokic meat rider, Rudy Gobert meat rider. I don't care.
Well, sounds like you really like COVID then.
No shame. No shame.
Hey,
No
I'm
shame.
just saying, I thought it was hilarious when the dude went around and touched every microphone in the room, like, I don't have COVID, and then had it.
No,
and then everyone was like,
it's a French thing, bro. French people, I can say this because like I'm 50% French. There's a little attitude that French people have, and it's the I am better than everybody. It's that attitude, man. Trust me, they all have it. Every one of them.
All right. Well, this is an easy choice for me because I did need a big man because I just chose 2 guards, and you took Rudy Gobert, who is the last big man I would have taken. No offense, Rudy Gobert. We're playing an all-star game. I need points on the board. I don't really need rebounds grabbed, and I need some playmaking. I need some ball movement. We need to look like the Globetrotters. Like, that's my goal here.
Okay.
I'm taking Domantas Sabonis with 6 assists per game.
Sabonis, okay.
He almost became the first player to average 20, 10, and 5 and not make the all-star game. That would have been insane. Now, he shows the playmaking that his dad had. And it's crazy because he's a lot more mobile than his dad. His dad was gigantic.
The great Arvydas Sabonis. That was
the man who was in the Hall of Fame without an all-star game. And it's because of his EuroLeague play. I've had this talk with people for the same reason I think Luka, if he retired right now, would be in the Hall of Fame. Not because of the NBA play. Because it's not the Naismith NBA Hall of Fame. It's the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
Right.
And Luka has way more accolades than Arvydas Sabonis ever did, or players like Dino Raja. He has more accolades than Dino Raja did. Dino Raja played, I think, 3 seasons in the NBA, averaged 20 points 1 time. He's in the Hall of Fame because of his EuroLeague.
That was the Greek player, right?
I don't remember which one. I think yeah, I'm Googling this now.
Because I remember there was that guy, and then there was that one guy who played in the 90s who was like, he would drop like 40 on the dream team.
It was Dino Raja was from Croatia, and I have like memory in the back of my head of what you were talking about with him, with that guy. I don't know who it is though.
This is one of those players where you just hear like legends about these international players who just were absolute ballers but never really like panned out much in the NBA.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you went with Sabonis there.
Yeah.
And now it's tough. I think I'm gonna take Donovan Mitchell right here.
Go ahead.
Rudy Gobert's teammate, Spida. He's having a really good year. And normally when you're the best player on the team with the best record in the NBA, you're in MVP conversations. But I think not only is he not really putting up the stats to be in the MVP conversation, but the name Donovan Mitchell isn't as like flashy or as sort of, and I guess like sort of the way the Jazz play as well. You know, it's more of a team-oriented basketball.
I mean, and it's not a huge market.
Yeah.
Most MVPs come from a big market team like the Lakers. Like if the Lakers or Celtics have a player who does good, instant MVP conversation.
Easy.
Instant.
I just want to, for the record, if the Spurs don't win the championship this year, I'm cheering for the Utah Jazz just because I always cheer for small market teams. And like Jazz, Nuggets, teams like that like this is like their little window where they're going to be good for the next few years. I would like them to get a championship over like a big market team. That's just me. I don't know.
I get that. And if the Mavericks don't win the NBA championship, I'm going to call the NBA rigged. So we're pretty much on the same page here.
Yeah. I mean, different strokes for different folks right there, I guess.
Absolutely. So this next one's tough for me because I feel like whatever player I don't choose here, I think you're going to choose the other one. And I'm stuck between 2 guys. You know what? It's the All-Star game. I need some flashy. I feel like this player is more flashy than the other one I was going to go with. Give me Zach LaVine.
Yeah, I saw that coming. Zach LaVine.
Leading the Bulls to actually being like not absolutely god-awful.
Which is
dropping consistent like 30, 35 bombs. I mean, we've seen his athleticism. Man looks like he flies when he jumps.
Yeah.
I mean, how could I not take him for the All-Star game? I need to see that self-oop. Or how about an alley-oop from LeBron to Zach LaVine? I don't know. I feel like all these players, I'm like envisioning an All-Star game here. I feel like there's an actual game that me and you could put together to find out whose all-star team was actually better.
Yeah, we could do that on 2K maybe. Sure, it's a way.
I mean, that wasn't exactly the way I was thinking, but that works. I was just going to say after the All-Star game, compare all the stats of all of our players, put them together.
We could do that
and see who would have more points.
Or we just sit here and just yell at each other and could try to convince you that our teams are better than each other's.
I would do that too. I'm completely down to tell you that my team is 10 times better than yours because it is.
Dude, there's no way. There's simply no way at this moment.
I have LeBron and Luka. Okay.
Yeah, dude, you don't understand. I have Nicole Yokic. If that offends
that's God to you,
and you're offended by that, I don't care.
When you go to heaven, you're gonna see that fat lord of a man.
Yeah, and he's gonna give your favorite player 30, 20, and 10 every night. So I don't give a fuck. If God
let's finish out these teams because now you got me heated.
Dude, if God is drinking 2 liters every day and giving the best players in the world 43 points and 20 assists on like 80% 3-point shooting, I'm down with that.
80%?
Dude, okay, that's exaggeration. Over the last 10 games, he's shooting like 45% from downtown.
He is shooting a lot better this year than he almost ever has.
Crazy right now in the last few games. Like he's going nuts. Now I'm at a crossroads. I want to pick Paul George.
All yours.
Show up, and
you can have the later rounds. Don't even worry about it.
That's the thing. I can get Paul George whenever the fuck I want. I shouldn't say that because you're probably gonna pick him next.
I did just have that idea.
Yeah, just try to finesse me because he's better than anyone else on the board right now, and I feel like you're that kind of guy. The glasses are giving me that vibe. I'm gonna take Paul George right now.
The glasses are giving you that vibe?
Yeah, just like you look so innocent until you take your glasses off, and all of a sudden you're just this little demon boy. You just steals all my players. Dude, I've never met this guy in real life, but I'm making crazy assumptions right now.
So on my bench, I'm already rocking James Harden, Damian Lillard, Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine. That sounds like the greatest team of all time. You put them all on a team. Way better than your Chris Paul, Rudy Gobert, and who else?
I don't even know. Paul George. Sorry, I was looking at the camera in like this guy's way. No, I can't say that. That's a stupid way. Sorry.
There you go. PG 13%. PG 13%. That's the guy we're taking right now.
PG 13%. It's not the playoffs, man. Chill.
Pandemic P. Wait until the playoffs. I'm just saying.
It's okay, but the All-Star game is not the playoffs, so I'm chilling right now.
Oh, whatever you say. Okay, so here's my thinking.
Okay.
If they do it the same way they do last year, which I'm unfamiliar if they are or not, there's charity on the line, which means there's a reason to win, which means there's pressure. What does Paul George do under pressure? 13%. You know what?
I got a bench for a reason. I have a bench for a reason. This man's not touching the court in the fourth quarter. He's playing the second quarter, first few minutes of the third quarter. Give him some time at the beginning, like give him a minute in the fourth quarter, and then he's out of there. He's out, and I'm putting injured Kevin Durant on the court, and that man's taking over.
I would rather have him than PG 13%. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna run Sabonis at my backup center, backup point guard Damian Lillard, backup shooting guard. I got James Harden. Zach LaVine will run the 3. I ain't worried about it. Who's gonna run the 4? It's a good question, isn't it? Let me tell you who's gonna run the 4. This man is the second heaviest player in the NBA, behind freaking Boban Marjanovic. He's averaging 25.5 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 3.4 assists. He plays with Lonzo Ball. He plays with Josh Hart. Why am I just naming players?
No, keep going. It's a great intro. It's a great intro.
I'm just naming Pelicans players. He plays with Steven Adams.
I don't know who this is. I'm very hyped to find out who this is.
I'm taking Zion.
Taking Zion Williamson.
I'm taking Zion.
Couldn't have guessed that. Zion Williamson. He's a baller.
He's fat.
Straight up baller.
Very large man.
Speaking of, maybe not as large as Zion, but similar build as far as stocky. I'm gonna take Jaylen Brown's still on the board. I'm not taking Julius Randle. Give me Jaylen Brown. Holy fuck.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Just fell into the plan that I wanted. You just did exactly what I wanted you to do.
Did I? Okay, that's chill. I don't care. We do not care.
I'm picking a man. Taking a man that can play the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. And if there was a 6, it would be him. Okay. This man single-handedly is the greatest player in NBA history. Forget what I said about Will. I'm taking the greatest player in NBA history right now. We're talking about a man who should be in the dunk contest, who should be in the 3-point contest. He should be in the rookie and sophomore game, he's not even rookie or sophomore, but that's just how good he is. He should be in the celebrity game. I'm taking my boy, Julius Randle.
But you're not a Knicks fan, though, right? Just to make that clear.
I am not a Knicks fan.
Exactly. It's unbiased.
I do love Julius Randle.
That's weird. That's like, as far as, I mean, I did say I like Patrick Beverley, but as far as like meat riding one player, Julius Randle's an interesting selection from a Dallas Mavericks fan.
I mean, I voted. I'm pretty sure I'm the reason he's in the All-Star game. I voted him every single day. I voted him more than Luka. There was a day where I was like, you know what, Luka's definitely gonna make it. I just kept putting Julius Randle, him and Jeremy Grant, which I'll talk about later.
I fuck with Jeremy Grant, bro. He's a baller on defense. Okay, yeah, so
and he definitely should have made the All-Star game, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we can talk about snubs a bit. Okay, so you got Randle in there. Now we got, who's left here? We have Nikola Vucevic left. Ben Simmons. Sorry, Ben Simmons is left.
It's all yours.
And Anthony Davis, we're not going to pick because he's hurt. But I'm going to take Nikola Vucevic right now because I think that's all that's left, unless I'm an idiot. No, I think that's all that's left.
No, you already selected Vucevic. Okay, well, since you didn't select him, Devin Booker.
Dude, I told you I'm an idiot, man. Like I told you. No, you know what? You want to know why it is? Because I'm reading off like a post on Instagram, and it's before they put in Booker. So I was reading through. I'm like, all right, Vucevic is the only one here. That might be the killer for me.
So I'm pretty sure with me taking Devin Booker, there's only one player left.
Injured Anthony Davis. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would rather not have a player.
Hold on.
Okay, Booker.
So you're gonna take Anthony Davis injured. I'm just curious. So you're gonna take that over a man. Hold on, I
I feel bad, no, because then I'm giving, because I'm not gonna try to be funny here. I'm taking Ben Simmons because
28% from three.
He's not going to shoot threes, bro. Don't worry.
12%. I mean, it's the All-Star game. In the All-Star game, I guarantee you he's going to pop at least 5 threes.
No, I will bench his ass. I
promise you he will.
I will bench his ass. If Ben Simmons attempts a three-pointer against your team, I will bench his ass immediately. Fuck him. God damn. That pisses me off. I didn't think of Booker. I thought he'd be picked higher. If I knew Booker was here, I'd have picked him before.
I was thinking the same thing. And then I was looking at my list, which also is before they put in Devin Booker. And I saw Anthony Davis. I was like, wait a second.
You're missing someone here. Okay, I got Ben Simmons, and so that's it. And like, obviously, we're gonna be putting like I'll put like the graphic on the screen. So if you're watching this, you see our teams. You can tell us who you think is better. Since it's my YouTube channel, you should pick my team.
So you're telling them to be biased.
Yeah,
you're telling them to be biased.
100%.
I feel like that is definitely manipulating your audience when they know my team is better.
I don't care. It's not. I know. I didn't just admit your team is better. I'm telling you.
You should have admitted my team was better because it's facts.
First, okay, KD, Giannis, and Steph Curry. Right there, it's over.
I don't even care about your starters. PG 13% and Ben Simmons, who's gonna chuck threes.
Dude, I don't think you understand how basketball works. Only 5 players can be on the court at a time. If they're shit, I'm just gonna bench their ass, bro.
It's the All-Star game. Everyone has to play.
No, he is not touching the floor. Ben Simmons will not touch the floor. He can play in the skills contest, do his thing. But he'll have his time, do his shit at halftime. He can shoot around in front of the fans that aren't going to be there. But no, he's not touching the floor. And Paul George, Paul George, he's had his moments. Okay. But as far as the starting lineup goes,
did neither of us take Tatum? I'm looking at my notes. I don't think we took Tatum.
Dude, we're bad at this.
Did we not take Tatum?
I think and you're the last pick too. I think you get Tatum, right?
I take Tatum. There we go. I got Devin Booker, and dude, my bench would destroy yours. I'm just saying.
6, 7, 8. No, hold on. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 players in your bench. I have 7. I get Tatum.
Fine.
Because you'd have 9 with Tatum.
Fine, you can have Tatum. Whatever. I mean, you're gonna need him. So
I definitely. That's why I argued for him, bro. I need him. If it was Ben Simmons, I would let you have
my
it.
team was better. I think you just admitted it.
No,
I'm just saying you do have Curry.
I need the lead. I need the lead to be bigger. I gotta embarrass your ass.
And oh my God, embarrass! You can't embarrass LeBron James. You can't embarrass Luka Doncic.
You're a Mavericks fan. You should know you can embarrass LeBron James, man. Come on.
Okay.
2011.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Nah.
For the sake of this argument, I'm not a Mavericks fan.
No. I don't care. JJ Barea, fucking Jason Terry, Sean Marion, Deshaun Stevenson. Y'all remember that name?
Dude, Deshaun Stevenson.
Dude, do you like Deshaun Stevenson as a Mavericks fan?
Yes. I don't care about all the other stuff. All I care about is the fact that he got Jason Terry the fucking championship tattoo. Shoot, I don't usually cuss. I just
You're so passionate about this, bro.
I mean,
Deshaun Stevenson, for those of you who don't know, he's a bit of an interesting character in the NBA history. First of all, he's the guy who wore the LeBron James the bitch jersey or shirt. And like there's a lot of beef between him and LeBron during the NBA Finals in 2011.
But who won?
And Deshaun Stevenson won. So all like LeBron sexuals, you can't get mad. You're like, oh, who won?
Because Deshaun Stevenson's better.
Deshaun Stevenson fucking won. All right. So like that proves who's better because championships are all that matters. But yeah, I mean, Deshaun, and then he got Jason Terry a tattoo on his arm of the Larry O'Brien trophy before the season started. And Jason Terry never won a championship. You know, like
we weren't
Jason
supposed
Terry
to win that year either.
And so the biggest flex of all time is when Terry's running around the parade with the tattoo he got like 5 months ago or whatever.
Fun fact, that's actually my next tattoo, is that same exact tattoo. Not for the Mavericks. I mean, if we win, then I'll say that's what it was for.
Are you going to try out for the NBA? Are you going to the draft?
Yeah, I'm going into the draft. 5'6". I'm gonna give you my scouting profile. 5'6", Caucasian, 34-inch vertical. That's impressive. Shoots about 10% from three. Can maybe average like 0.1 assists per game, maybe 2 points if you let me get some free throws in. I can shoot free throws. No, I'm getting the tattoo because it's a symbol of faith to me. Because he showed faith he was going to win the championship. So other than being like most people and just getting a cross, I'm just going to get the Larry O'Brien trophy because it's also basketball. I already have one right here for Kobe. So I need more basketball tattoos.
As long as you don't like put the year, as long as you don't put like 2020 and then like leave the last space blank to put in the last number, because the amount of like tattoo fails you see like that is just like.
No, I'm just gonna get the trophy, just straight up trophy.
That's nice. You can put the date in after.
Right. Maybe I'll get the All-Star game trophy because I know I'm gonna win that one.
Dude, you can't. No. This is ridiculous. I can't. You are a cocky motherfucker. I thought I was cocky, but no, you are. I like.
Okay. Listen.
Not. This guy is cocky as fuck. You guys are.
Let's go over your starting lineup here. You got probably Curry at the 1, Kyrie at the 2. That's gonna clash.
No,
that's not gonna work.
No. Okay, let's do this. Who's your point guard? Tell me.
My point guard starting?
Yeah.
Dude, obviously it's LeBron James.
LeBron's your starting point guard. Who the fuck?
Ask the Lakers how that went last year. Worked pretty good, didn't it?
Okay, no, I'm just saying. All right, Caleb. All right, I'll take Giannis is guarding LeBron. Okay, I guess Giannis is guarding LeBron, but I was gonna go like head on, head up. Luke is your starting point guard. Steph is my starting point guard. Steph's better than Luka Doncic. Kyrie's my shooting guard. Beal's your shooting guard. Kyrie's better than Bradley Beal. Giannis is my, I'll take, Kevin Durant's my small forward. LeBron's your small forward. LeBron's better than KD. All right, we'll take that. Jokic is better than fucking Embiid. In my books.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Embiid might be having the better season, but Jokic is better than Embiid.
Okay, I'll take that. I think he's more skilled. I'll say he's more skilled.
Jokic is a better player, but I think Embiid's obviously been having a better year. Giannis is better than no. I can't go get my guy. Kawhi's better than Giannis, in my opinion, but Giannis is playing better. And then your bench is, it's all right. I mean,
dude, my bench would destroy yours once you didn't choose Devin Booker.
I have Tatum. He's only 22. Okay, like when it's all said and done, Tatum's only 22. Give my team time. And
all-star teams don't stay together next year. Half these dudes won't even be on the team.
Tatum's only 22. Give my team time, and we'll get there.
Your team's only 22. Zion, I'm pretty sure he's only 21.
I don't care. I do not care. He's not. No, he's not.
Actually, I think he's 20. I have no idea.
No, I don't care. The thing, like, I will never admit that your team is better than mine. I just want you to know.
Well, you don't have to admit it because I'm on the same wavelength as you. I know you're just trying to defend yourself because it's your podcast and your YouTube channel, but you're wrong.
Dude, you're trying to get to me.
You do not have the caliber on the bench that I do. I have James Harden.
That's just the bench, bro. Name one championship team that won strictly just because of their bench. Like, there's like maybe 5 of all time.
Well, I would say the Golden State Warriors their first year.
Yeah,
the first Golden State Warriors championship,
and then after that, once they got KD and Steph paired together, what happened?
They got rid of half the bench.
Saying, bro, what happened?
Okay, but I'm not going to be making trades in the All-Star game.
Rings. Yeah, it's
Okay.
okay. No,
The thing is, I'm saying if one of my players in my starting lineup has a bad game, such as
yeah,
LeBron,
yeah,
I think he's the most likely to have a bad All-Star game.
yeah.
Don't hate me. I don't like LeBron. I could throw in James Harden. I could throw in Damian
Okay,
Lillard.
okay.
DeMontis Sabonis isn't going to fill LeBron's shoes, but Zach LaVine, Zion Williamson. My team is so much stronger than yours. You're getting bodied with your fat boy Jokic. Okay.
What? I have Rudy Gobert. You're not scoring over Gobert. The lane is plugged. You're not scoring around Gobert. No way. No way.
Watch me.
No way. No
Watch me.
how, bro.
Dude,
Hell no.
watch me.
Kevin Durant, cheat code. Giannis, cheat code. Steph Curry, cheat code. Jokic, God. Kyrie Irving, he'll get sage all over your players' eyes. That boy will be sprinkling that shit everywhere. And
Oh my God, bro.
dude, trust me.
If he be throwing sage in there, I'm bringing in some kind of devil worshiper.
Bro, fuck off, man. No.
I'm bringing in that negative energy, bro. We coming in with that mean mug. Oh, my hair. We're coming in with that mean mug, okay? James Harden going to come in there with a shaved beard. It's going to throw all your guys off, okay?
Shaved beard, James Harden, going back to Arizona State or whatever.
Exactly. We're going to throw all of you off. Luka's going in there.
You're waffling.
Well, he's just scary. He's just that good, okay? Kawhi's going to go in there smiling. That's going to confuse the fuck out of your players. No. LeBron's going to go in there just like LeBron. He's already scary enough. He's 36, is still an all-star captain. Joel Embiid's going to walk in there with his Twitter account, okay? You are going down.
Kevin Durant's got more Twitter accounts than Joel Embiid. All right, show.
I would love to actually know the stats on how many Twitter accounts these guys have.
Okay. All right, let's move on from our teams here. We'll let the fans do the debating here.
Typically when someone says something like that, it's because they lost the argument. But yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right, whatever. We'll let you think what you want to think, okay?
I don't have to think it, I know it.
This fucking guy's just starting to piss me off. This fucking guy's going to piss me off right now. All right, let's move on to the do you want to talk about all-star snubs real quick, or because we've been going for about 45 minutes. Do you want to talk about snubs or predictions for the dunk contest, three-point contest, and the skills contest?
Well, I say let's just both throw out one snub that we have.
Yeah.
And then we can move on to that instead of just going over a bunch of snubs, because there is a lot, but that's just because the NBA is so talented right now. I'll go with my first snub. My only snub. I voted for this man in the All-Star game so many times. I'm talking Jeremy Grant. He's my candidate for Most Improved Player of the Year. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but I mean, I wholeheartedly, this man this year, his career high going into the season was 29 points in a game. Yeah. He's broken that, I think, 9 times already in one season. Defensive god. He's the reason the Detroit Pistons have won any games. And I mean, you said he's really good on defense, but I would like to point out that he is shooting 47% from 3 this year. No, sorry, that's 2.
No way.
37% from 3. Yeah. My bad. I was reading the wrong stat. I look pretty stupid. He's shooting 37% from 3. That's not terrible by any means. While taking 5.2 threes per game, that's almost double what he shot last year. He's putting up 2.9 assists. That's not too crazy. His defense is obviously godly. He's shooting 90% from free throw, almost 89% to be exact. And all this from what I just mentioned last year almost skyrocketed. He averaged 12 points per game last year. He's averaging 23.
I think Julius, before I say my snub, I would like to say Julius Randle is a shout for defense for Most Improved Player of the Year. Or no, not Julius Randle. Oh yeah, Julius Randle is too. But Jeremy Grant. But the one guy that I've had this weird sort of opinion about for Most Improved Player of the Year is Nicole Yokic. Like this man, when you look at his averages from last year to this year, it's through the roof. Just as far as not just like points per game, which has gone up by 7 points per game. Rebounds are up, assists are up by like 2 or 3. But the main thing is like his percentages and efficiency is amazing. And I don't think he should win. I think it should be between Randle or Jeremy Grant. But I think he should get some consideration or at least some credit for the amount of at least statistical improvement he's been having. He's been having one of the greatest offensive seasons a big man has ever had.
Absolutely.
So far. But I mean, he's a superstar. It's hard to like say. I'm just saying like he's improved a lot from last year.
I can totally agree with you. And I felt the exact same way about Luka last year.
Yeah,
Luka went from his rookie season of 25 and 5 to averaging almost 39 and 10.
Yeah.
The thing is like with how the NBA works, they want a player who went from nothing to great or nothing to good, not that great to great, whatever. They don't want someone who went from good to better.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think Jokic would win it, but I mean, based off stats, I think he probably is the most improved player.
Yeah. And so for my snub, as a Spurs fan, I have to go with my guy DeMar DeRozan. And I never thought I'd call DeMar DeRozan my guy because I hated him for he was the guy we got instead of Kawhi Leonard, and he was very bad last year, in my opinion. But this year, he's been balling out. And this is the first time in NBA history where the NBA has gone 2 years in a row without having a San Antonio Spur in the All-Star game. Another reason why the Spurs are the third greatest franchise of all time. Whenever I have a chance to bring up my team's history, I will always do that. This is the first time ever. The only other times we missed All-Star games was obviously last year, the year before we drafted Tim Duncan, the year before David Robinson showed up, and then one time in the ABA. DeMar DeRozan, got to go. I mean, he's been having a great year. Those are our snubs. One from the East, one from the West. I'd probably take DeMar over I'd take DeMar over Devin Booker just because I'm biased, and I'd take DeMar over Anthony Davis because I think AD was having kind of a shit. It's still good, but I wouldn't put him in as an all-star.
And I can understand that. I feel like mine would be easy. Just take out Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is you could pick pretty much any other player in the Eastern Conference for Ben Simmons.
Absolutely. Who's let me try to think. Seth Curry. Could have put Seth Curry over Ben Simmons. Same team.
Dude, and Aaron Baines, except for Pascal Siakam. Siakam's trash. It's hilarious. I love talking to Raptors fans. They'll hype up their whole team, but Siakam, it's trash.
Yeah, it's dude, Kyle Lowry's having a great season. What about Pascal?
Dude,
he spends a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's hilarious. I love because living in Canada, everyone's Toronto Raptors fans up here. That's one of the reasons why I like making fun of the Raptors. It's not because I hate them. It's just that all my friends are Raptors fans, and they always talking about Boucher, Matt Thomas, best shooter in the league, fucking OG Anunoby, that guy. He's the next Kawhi Leonard. Man, shut the fuck up.
They literally do that with everybody. And do you remember when Cristiano Felicio was supposed to be the next Kevin Durant?
That's the guy. Yeah. What the fuck?
He literally is
Chicago, right?
Yeah. I believe that every NBA player in history is way better than your average high school basketball player, except for Cristiano Felicio.
You think so?
I think that a JV starter could beat him. I don't know what his use is to the NBA. I don't know why he's needed. I don't know why the Bulls haven't dropped him, traded him, just kicked him off the team. I'd rather pay him to not play.
No, bro. Well, but you take Jared Dudley over Cristiano Felicio?
Absolutely.
Really?
I would have Jared Dudley in my starting lineup in my All-Star game over Cristiano Felicio in the NBA in general.
All right. I've honestly not paid much attention to him. I don't know if he's playing that much, Cristiano Felicio.
He doesn't, but when he does, it's sad.
It's bad. He's on the Bulls.
Depressing.
Anyway,
so the skills challenge. How are you feeling about that?
Skills challenge. Speaking of very skillful players, let's move on to the skills challenge. This is great transition. I'll just read through the guys. We got Robert Covington, Luka Doncic, Nikola Vucevic, Domantas Sabonis, Julius Randle, and Chris Paul. Before I ask you, I would like to just say, historically speaking, big men, I feel like, have won this challenge a lot more than little guys. As weird as that may seem, because skills challenge is more dribbling, shooting, passing.
Right.
No Bam Adebayo. Apparently, he declined the offer to go to the skills challenge, which is weird. Him and Jimmy Butler just, I guess they're just too cool for this shit.
I guess. Once you play for the Heat and make the finals once, it gets to your head.
Yeah, just exactly. So who's kind of your favorite? Who you got your eye on? You're obviously gonna say Luka Doncic, but whatever. Go ahead.
To be honest, I'm not even going to say Luka Doncic. No. As a Luka fan, I've seen him in the skills challenge. Trae Young beat him, I'm pretty sure. If I remember correctly, Trae Young knocked a 3 down way before he did, because Luka's not an outstanding 3-point shooter. That's one of the things. Yeah. That's how you end off the competition right there.
That's what gets him.
Not choosing Robert Covington. That's for sure.
No, okay.
I don't like Robert Covington. He's better than Cristiano Felicio. I'll give him that. Julius Randle, I'll say that when it comes to, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't usually watch the skills challenge, to be fair. The only time I watched it was when Luka went against Trae. I'm pretty sure they do a big man bracket and then guard bracket, and then they meet in the middle.
That's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So when it comes to big men, I think the winner's going to come down to Julius Randle. Just because it's his first time on the big stage. dude's going to come and show out. I feel like that kind of pressure is going to really, because it's usually the skills challenge specifically. I feel like it's this way with all of the contests. It's usually the underdog, one of the underdogs that wins it
Yeah,
all.
you don't really expect it.
So I'm going to say Julius Randle's going to win the big man side. Chris Paul's going to win the guard / not big man side. And I think Chris Paul's going to win the whole thing. I mean, I would say when it comes to the dribbling, passing, shooting, it's one of the most complete players we've ever seen.
Yeah, the one thing with Chris Paul is that recently he's been in a bit of a shooting slump. So I don't know if I'm gonna pick Chris Paul. I mean, like his efficiency's been just ass. Robert Covington, like it's interesting. It looks like he has no chance of winning, but if you always want to pick the underdog, it sounds really good if you pick Robert Covington and then he somehow wins. He's like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. But if you pick Robert Covington and he performs how he's supposed to perform, he's not gonna do very well. Coming out of the big men though, I'm gonna take Nikola Vucevic over Domantas Sabonis and Julius Randle. Randle's definitely a shout, but I don't know. It's kind of like these tall white European centers are just an absolute cheat code in the NBA, in my opinion, especially in fantasy basketball. Like that, like we're in our fantasy league. I'm tied with the best record in the league. You're like one under me, but the thing is, with me, I'm just Domantas Sabonis, who's born in America, but European heritage.
Yeah.
Vucevic and Nikola Jokic. This is cheat code. That's the only reason why I'm doing good.
I forgot we were in a fantasy league together. Totally forgot that was the thing.
And I beat you, I think, when we played.
Are you body yaddy 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 yaddy?
Yeah.
Yes, you did beat me. So I was tied for best record in the league with JJ last week, and then somehow OG beat me. I don't understand because he's got 5 wins. I had 7, and I thought I was like, oh, this will be easy. And then Luka just didn't. He just didn't.
Yeah. So if you're for the viewer, we got a TikTok team. We got a TikTok fantasy basketball team going on. My team is Canada, body yaddy yaddy yaddy. Of course, named after the most inspirational rapper of all time, Megan Thee Stallion.
Absolutely.
And my team is just annihilating right now. I mean, I am slaying through the league. I'm 8-2.
What's your record?
8-2.
Yeah, well, I'm 7-3. I'm coming
7-3, and I beat him in the one, so he's a bit salty about that.
I'm not salty. I just know that there was something rigged about it.
He's a bit salty. It's okay.
I don't know what salty is. Dude. I'm about as salty as a saltine crack. Wait, that's a lot of salt.
You actually don't know what salty means?
What?
You don't know what salty means? What are you talking about?
No, I do. I was trying to make a reference about how not salty I am, and I said I was about as salty as a saltine cracker, and then I realized that's like literally covered in salt.
Yeah, you tried. It's okay.
I tried.
Anyway, skills contest is I'm gonna take Chris Paul. He's kind of like, even though he's been in a shooting slump, Chris Paul versus Domantas Sabonis in the finals. I'm gonna take Domantas Sabonis. That's sort of the one that really no one gives a fuck about. Now the one that people actually kind of care about. 3-point contest: Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Jason Tatum, who's only 22. Who are you picking?
Hold on, I just got to mention this. Is it like programmed in your brain whenever you say Jason Tatum's name to say he's only 22?
He's only 22.
That's like me being like, LeBron James is only 36. Like every time I say his name.
Yeah, you don't get it, bro. Like in the Baller Nation community, man, like it's a thing. Like I got a lot of heat because I called Jason Tatum Mr. 2 of 18 for like an entire summer because he shot 2 of 18 in one game. And so like all the little 12-year-old Celtic fans got mad at me. And so now like my comment sections are just flooded with, and they're all like, "Oh, he's only 21, man. Give him time." So now it's like,
well, that makes more sense.
Dude,
that makes more sense because I was about to start talking about players be like LaMelo Ball. He's only 19.
It's an inside joke, okay? Trust me, bro.
Okay, so in a perfect world, I don't know what it is. Historically, the best 3-point shooter doesn't even win this. Because if it just went by who was the best 3-point shooter, Steph Curry would have like 20 of these.
Yeah.
So I'm not choosing Steph Curry just because historically he doesn't win it. He won it once?
Yeah, I think he came second to Klay Thompson one time as well.
So he doesn't historically win it. It's usually the least expected guy. Last year, Joe Harris. I love Joe Harris. Great shooter. Did not expect him to win that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to unexpected, I'm going to say I'm just going to go with someone who I really like the way their jump shot looks because I think it's consistent, it's quick, it's good, it works for them. I'm taking Zach LaVine. Okay. And how great would it be to have a dunk and 3-point contest under his belt?
We have Donovan Mitchell and Zach LaVine, two guys who have already won the dunk contest. Now have a chance to win the 3-point contest. That was the first thing I was going to say. The other thing I was going to say, last year, I predicted Davis Bertans was going to win it, and he didn't. And then the other thing, I think this might be this might be the first 3-point contest without a white player. I think, unless I'm mistaken.
Hold on, I'm looking at this.
But this is.
I'm looking at it.
I'm very disappointed.
There are no white guys in this dunk contest.
And as a privileged white male, I am extremely offended right now.
I am too.
I may need to go to my safe space because this is just, we are no longer the best.
Should we like make a hashtag on Instagram about this?
I think it's racist that they didn't have a white player in here. Matt Thomas, bro. What the fuck? Where was Matt Thomas, man? The greatest shooter of all time. But this is, we need equality in the NBA, and this is not how to get it.
Honestly, I wouldn't have been mad though if they would have replaced like Devin Booker with Davis Bertans again.
Dude, Davis Bertans is sick, bro. And last year was weird. Last year they even had a white guy in the dunk contest last year, but this year they don't even have a white guy.
Yeah, well, that one I understand. I understand that one completely. That just makes sense.
Yeah, it's weird. It's all right. Whatever. Adam Silver, bro, the boy's tripping right now. Anyway, for me, the 3-point contest winner, I'm gonna go. I would pick Zach LaVine, but since you already picked him, I don't want to agree with you on anything. So I'm gonna take.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Steph Curry. No, because one of us needs to be wrong, okay, or both of us, but we can't both be right. That's not as fun. But yeah, I'm gonna take Steph Curry. You pick Zach LaVine, and finally the dunk contest. It's funny that there's only 3 players in the dunk contest. Just shows how much people don't want to be in it. And I think it's kind of intimidating to be in the dunk contest because I feel like ever since 2016, dunk contest has been held to this really high standard that Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon set. And now players, see players every year just decline to be in the dunk contest. And now we've only got 3 brave souls: Anthony Simmons, Cassius Stanley, and Obi Toppin. By the way, I'm going to say my pick first. I'm going to take Cassius Stanley, who I've seen some of his warm-up dunks,
he floats.
And shit. He does crazy shit.
Absolutely. I've seen Cassius. His dunks they remind me a lot of Zach LaVine's, the way they're so smooth.
Yeah.
And the way they can do everything. Now, you said it can be a little bit intimidating to be in the dunk contest because of the 2016 dunk contest, which is probably the greatest one of all time. And I can totally agree, but I also think it's intimidating because Aaron Gordon specifically, I've noticed this is a big thing. And it happened with Zach LaVine for a while. Is like when you're a player who's not a star and you're in the dunk contest, you get like this little like notion around you, like the dunk contest guy. Like I've noticed that especially with Aaron Gordon, he gets just a lot of love for being the dunk contest guy.
Right. Yeah.
But not the fact that he's actually like a solid player. Zach LaVine, until I think this year is the first year he's actually like shaking the dunk contest guy like vibe off. So I think that's another reason it can be kind of intimidating because like for me the biggest one right now is Derrick Jones Jr. I love him. He's very skilled sometimes, but when I see him do something, I'm like, hey, dunk contest.
Yeah, you kind of get that label that is hard to shake. And the dunk contest more than I think the 3-point contest and skills contest. It's much more popular, obviously, but also like 3-point contest. It's way less popular. So you're not as known when like Joe Harris was like whenever you see Joe Harris, you're like, oh, he won the 3-point contest. Nah, but whenever you see when you see Devin Booker, he broke the record for the highest score in the 3-point contest. No one cares about that. But you see Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. I still to this day would love to see a rematch from 2016. I would love to see that rematch. And yeah, I'm always going to think of Zach LaVine as a guy as one of probably the greatest dunk contest contestant of all time, in my opinion. I don't think that I think Aaron Gordon probably had better dunks. It's a good topic for another podcast. Just looking back at that, who should have won the dunk contest. But yeah, Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, they've had that label, and Zach LaVine, now that he's really good, I think it's fair to say he's a much better player than Aaron Gordon. He started to shake that dunk contest player the reputation he got in his first few years.
Absolutely. So when it comes to the participants, I cannot agree with you, which only leaves me 2 options. So thanks. Anthony Simmons, he is a good dunker. I just don't see him winning a dunk contest.
Yeah.
And as a biased person who lives about 5 miles or something like that, I don't know how far away it is from where Obi Toppin played college, put Dayton on the map for the first time in a long time. I'm taking Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin.
He was the guy I was going to go with regardless. But so the way I was going to word it is I want Obi Toppin to win. I think Cassius Stanley will.
Yeah. I think everyone who's like seen highlights of Cassius Stanley dunking, it's hard to go against that.
Right. And I think it's weird because Cassius Stanley is a very smooth dunker, like Zach LaVine. He doesn't like slam it super hard or anything. It's just his motions are so smooth. Obi Toppin's more of like a clunky, hard, try to break the rim kind of dunker. Yeah. And historically, I don't think those guys win dunk contests.
No, it's the finesse that wins it. Like even like you look at Aaron Gordon when he was like Aaron Gordon's greatest dunks. He's big. He's a very strong guy, and he's like in game. He can tear the rim down. But the dunks that were the best for Aaron Gordon were the flashy kind of like ones where it looks like he's floating over the mascot and shit like that. It's not like when he's like, I don't know, even like his alley-oops, they're not like being thrown down super hard. It's more of a finesse contest. That's why I could argue, I mean, Cassius Stanley Anthony Simmons probably has a better chance of winning this than Obi Toppin because just his build is so much lighter, and I think he can do a lot more like acrobat shit.
Yeah, I think Obi Toppin's going to get last. I want him to win so bad.
But your official prediction?
I love Obi Toppin.
What's your official prediction? Obi Toppin?
I'm taking my prediction as Obi Toppin,
okay.
But just know that in the back of my head, I would have said Cassius Stanley if it wasn't for you.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Because you said that we should agree, so you're
gonna be wrong. It's okay. No, you picked Obi Toppin. Sorry.
I have to. I mean, I feel like that's the biggest underdog story for the dunk contest.
This guy actually thinks Obi Toppin was going to the dunk contest over Cassius Stanley. This guy's so dumb.
I mean, look, have you seen Obi Toppin's dunks that he's been doing preparing for it?
In San Antonio.
They look pretty nice.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to say anything before we wrap this up? Because it's quite a longer podcast, but yeah, anything you want to say?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, I'm Crafty. I make TikToks under the account they call me Crafty. You can also find my YouTube, which is just @Crafty, where I do a weekly show called Nothing But Net, where I just recap what happened the week in the NBA. I go over the highlights. I specifically went over Anthony Edwards ruining Yuta Watanabe's entire career. I just go over what happened in that week, and I try to do it with a little bit more of a comedy spin, just so you're getting your information and you're laughing along with me.
That was a very good pronunciation of that Raptors player who I won't even try to pronounce.
I have a weird talent for pronouncing foreign basketball player names. It's because I'm such a big fan of most foreign basketball players.
That's class. That's a very good talent to have. Anyway, yeah, links to Crafty will be in the description. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, listening to this episode of the Off the Dome podcast. You made it all the way through here, a bit of a longer podcast. We're going to be trying to get more guests on. Hopefully Crafty can come back more often. Without any further ado, Kanye, Mike Dean, hit him with the outro music.
Let me get more volume.